So good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another collaboration album review of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and again, we're joined by Señorita Sabrosura today. So, Señorita, how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm
Good to be
good.
back.
It's good to be back, and I'm trying to get Taylor Swift out of my ears because I reviewed that album for the channel. But today we're gonna talk about more like an indie rock band. You know, it's a band that I never heard of, but now I listen to it, and it's called Cloud Nothings, and the album is Final Summer. So this is the artwork for the album, and I like it because it goes very dreamlike with the music, and it's very simple. So a little bit background of Cloud Nothing. They're a band from Cleveland, Ohio. They're an indie rock band, and they have a few albums now. I believe this is like their sixth album, if I'm not mistaken. Señorita, what were your first impressions of listening to Cloud Nothings? Because I think you never listened to this band before.
I haven't heard of this band never. I thought it was a catchy album. I'm glad that you gave me a few days to listen to it. Because I think it's a grower, and it will be the perfect album to play live. This will be a band to have like in summer festivals.
That was I was thinking as well, like a
Yeah,
perfect soundtrack for the summer.
yeah, and I'm surprised that I haven't heard from this band, because they have like a few albums, and they sound like a Hot Topic band, like one of those bands that we will sell the T-shirt at Hot Topic when I used to work there. But no, I haven't heard from this. I think they're very catchy. I like some songs more than others, but I think it will be a perfect band to have live in a summer festival. What do you think?
So yeah, I never heard of this band, and sometimes what I like to do is like when I review albums, for the metal albums, I usually try to do it myself. But I think like I haven't done like reviews with Señorita in a while, and Señorita's like, you have forgotten about me. I'm like, no, let's do more album reviews. And usually the albums that we pick are the ones that are more in this like indie rock, and I like to sometimes talk about bands that I don't see any reviews out there. So I went fresh to this band,
Yeah.
and it said that it was like an indie rock, but I heard like some garage, some emo
Yeah.
to the song, not grungy, because this was more of like a more polished sound to this. So I was reading about the band because I didn't know the band, and apparently for this album they did a more slick production that in the past. So
They sound
and,
very pop. And not that it's a bad thing, but they
yeah,
sound like very pop.
yeah. Well,
Very
apparently they were more harder, so I have to listen to more of their previous stuff because they've been around. They formed in 2009, so I'm surprised I never heard of this band. And at first, it started as a solo project for Dylan Baldi, who's the singer-songwriter, and he cites influences including the Wipers, the Lemonheads, the Forms, No Age, Women, Deer Hunter, but he also cites bands like Black Sabbath and Thin Lizzy as
Yeah,
inspiration.
I saw that it listed like the Melvins as influence.
Yeah, but this is a very accessible album, and it's called Final Summer, and I really thought that this sounds like a soundtrack for a summer.
Yeah.
So I felt that with the Bison, and I'm sure that's what the band was going for. So something that is good about this album is like 10 tracks, 29 minutes. So
Yeah, it goes fast.
it flies by so fast. So yeah, so my first impression, I listened to it, and yeah, like you, like I wanted to give it a few days to like listen to it and immerse myself because I didn't know the band, and I didn't also want to do like a quick review and like compare it to other bands. I wanted to know more about this band. So, but yeah, I think it has some, there's some tracks that I did enjoy more than others. So we'll talk about that soon. So, Señorita, what track stood out for you in this one?
Well, for me, the first track, the opener, I really like as an opener, like I like how it starts with the ambience, scene intro. Like it deceived me because I thought this was gonna be about something, and then it completely changes. But I like it. I like how it changed the sound, and it sounds very upbeat, but very nostalgic at the same time. Like you're like nostalgic about that summer in high school or college. That's like the what it I feel listening to this song, Final Summer.
Like the summer camp, you're saying goodbye to that girl or man or boy or whatever the kids call it
Whatever.
today in the camp, and you're like, yeah, well, it's been nice, but it's the final summer, so
Yeah.
thank you for the memories. So yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, I get
Yeah.
it.
And the other song I like it's I Get Along. Um I like the screeching guitar riffs, the drums, and it has like a very catchy vibe.
Yeah, it does.
I get along. And then Silence. I thought it was like a good song because it demonstrated like another side of the band, like a softer side of the band. And one that I will add to my running playlist, Running Through the Campus. I
Oh
think
yeah.
that song is perfect for and I think the whole album will be good for like running, doing exercise. Um, it's very upbeat.
Yeah, it kind of feels nostalgic, but I'm like, how can I be nostalgic for an album that's brand new?
Yeah, exactly.
But it has like that. I think that's what they were going for. So yeah, those are some good tracks. So
What were your favorite tracks?
so like you, I really like I Get Along. I really like it because it's like it reminds me of like a little bit of the Strokes, a little bit, but like more like emo and
Like,
a little bit punkier at sometimes. I like Mouse Policy, sorry. Uh,
oh, Mouse Policy. Yeah, I thought that was a good one, but I
yeah,
didn't want to pick every song.
yeah, that one is very fast paced as well. But I like them because they can be fast paced, but they sound like upbeat and catchy. Like they don't sound nothing like them, but I would compare it to like a sound like Third Eye Blind had, that they
Yeah.
could have like fast songs, but be like upbeat, even though they were singing about dark stuff. But in this album, I didn't feel like they were singing about. It felt more nostalgic. I agree. Final Summer is a great opener, and I like how it's to start slower with the themes and then it picks up the pace. I like the more aggressive songs like The Golden Halo and On the Shame, which are more aggressive. And On the Shame has this guitar like down, 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 down. It has like a guitar tone that I don't know. I really like it because it's more on like the grungier side of things. So I thought that was good. So yeah, I wouldn't say there's any bad tracks on the album, but there's some I had a little bit a few critiques. So yeah, so we've spoken about tracks that we thought are good in this album. So your final thoughts and rating for this one, Señorita.
Well, I think, like I said, I will revisit some songs. I will add like Running Through the Campus to my running playlist. But I don't think I will revisit the whole album, even though it's like very short and sweet and upbeat. I like some songs better than others. Um, what I like about the album, it feels nostalgic, but it leaves you feeling optimistic.
Yeah,
And it's very catchy, very pop. So for me, I don't know, a seven, 7.5.
yeah, yeah. That seems about fair. So for me, this album, the only critiques I had is that sometimes I thought that it could get a little bit samey sounding in some
Yeah,
of the
like
tracks.
sometimes I didn't know when a song start and finish the other one.
Yeah, because there's a few tracks that are like really short, uh, and like going to the other one, and the singing. I think sometimes the singing. I thought in some parts it got a little bit muffled, that you couldn't understand it. I don't know if it was something with the production or something. It's not that it was bad, but I wouldn't sometimes I felt that some of the vocals got a little bit buried. Did
Yeah.
you see that too?
Yeah, I think that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Uh,
you could listen more to the instruments instead of the voice.
and the voice, and yeah, I
I don't know
wanted to
what they
listen
were
to more of
going
the voice.
for or it was
Yeah.
production.
Yeah. And also the voice, I think it's good, but it reminded me a lot of other bands and styles. So I'm going to go and revisit I'm going to listen to more of their previous stuff. So I want to see how they change. But I had lack of time, so I just focused on this album. But I think the flow, it's 29 minutes, so the flow, it goes by quickly. So it's an album that you can listen to like on the fly. You could be like driving or like a 30-minute cardio and running through the campus. I don't know about you, but I had the picture of like me studying in the University of Puerto Rico and running because I was late for the other class.
Yeah,
Because
me
it was on the
too.
other side of campus. So I think that's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to do. And I think maybe this album, it can appeal to like a younger crowd, but I think people that grew up in the 90s with grunge, and alternative pop type of bands will enjoy this, because I think it's not like it has some things that would reminisce you of those times. So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. So I would give it a 7.5 out of 10 too. I think, it's good, it's solid, but maybe it will grow more on me. But yeah, it's a good album, and I'm glad that we got to discover this band. I haven't seen anyone talk about this band. So hopefully if the band watches, I would like to, it would be cool to interview the band to talk about them. To cover influence, but if I interview them, I promise you, Cloud Nothings, I will listen to the other albums before I interview you. So
Yeah, and I would love to see how they will evolve after this, because you said like they're doing like a more slick production and everything. Like how are they evolving or doing something new?
yeah, and especially it's interesting because he started more as like a solo project. Like I don't know, like you remember me like that old band, that Dashboard Confessional, that it started like it was like the lead singer was the main one. I used to love that back in the day when I wanted a good cry. And also they got more commercial as
Yeah.
as the albums went on. So yeah, we want to know from you, Couchers, what do you think of Final Summer by Cloud Nothings? If you haven't listened to this album, I would recommend that you listen to it. It's only 29 minutes. And if you like all the bands that we've been discussing, I think you would enjoy it. It's an enjoyable album. I would recommend it. I think it's worth 29 minutes of your time. So we want to know if you have listened to it. Comment what are your favorite tracks. We would want to know. And also this weekend I'm doing another album review with Señorita Sabrosura for another newer band that that we just discovered. Oh my God, what's the name of the other band?
Hello Queens.
What?
Hello Queens.
Yes, Pillow. Yeah.
Hello Queens, and the album is called Name Your Sorrow.
Yeah, I remember because I said
You said Pillow Talk. It's like
Pillow Talk is
I
Pillow
can
Queens. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that other album that it's another newer band that we discovered because and that one will be on Saturday. And we're gonna try to do we've already done this in the past where we take up more obscure bands to talk about them, because I think yeah, it's good to talk about like all the bands that everyone knows, but I think it's awesome to shed some light on newer bands that
yeah,
maybe
to discover new music.
get buried in the mix. That's when I proposed this channel, that's what it's all about, to discover newer music. Of course I'm going to review like very popular releases, but I like
Like
discovering
Taylor Swift.
like like Taylor Swift needed a review. So yeah, so please people, if you haven't subscribed to Señorita Sabrosura channel, Sabrosura Vinyl, she's got a great series called Must Have on Vinyl. Most of the episodes are in Spanish, but you know what?
But I have in English too.
So there's one in English, but you know what, people? That's what subtitles are for. Let me tell you something. We speak our native language is Spanish, and when we go to the movies, we have to watch your movie in English and read the subtitles. So read our subtitles too, the man. And of course, she collaborates on my channel as well. And what do you got coming up next for Must Have on Vinyl?
I think we're gonna do new metal and salsa.
Am
Two
I
completely
invited to the new metal video?
well, if you want to.
Come on, I have new metal albums. Like I can be
Yeah.
invited to that one. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we're doing one for Saturday, and then the other will be on Wednesday next week.
okay. So let me know for the
Yeah.
new metal one, because I'm interested in that one. And if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel. I got more content on the way, more Is It That Bad, more interviews. So just if you like what you see, share it with people. So, the YouTube algorithm can show to more people like yourself. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield on a Couch.
Señorita Sabrosura.
And we'll see you next time right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.